Hi guys, Jean here. How are you guys doing tonight? Honestly, it is late. Let me check the time. Yeah, it's actually, 11:30 p.m. here in the middle of the mountains in Kenmore, Alberta. And yes, it's late, and I'm using my ring light. And I got to tell you, I really don't like using the ring light because I can see it in my glasses. And if I, take out my glasses, and then I can barely see you guys over there. But yeah, I probably, let me see, should I take it off or should I put it back on? Mm. I'm gonna take it off for tonight because it is just, I don't really like the ring light in my glasses. But anyways, how are you guys doing? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hate it when people say that. Don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. But you know what? I'm going to be one of those people and I'm going to say that subscribe to my channel because it's going to help me and you are going to be doing me. I mean, honestly, you don't even know. I am going to be so grateful from deep inside of my heart, like really grateful. If you subscribe, and not only that, and you look at my videos, or put it on, take a look at it, you may find that you would get something out of my videos. You may even like my accent. Lots of people do. Anyways, you can tell I'm just being funny tonight. It is cold. I'm cold. I'm inside, but I'm a little chilly because I'm in sleeveless. Of course, I'm getting ready for bed. But tonight, yes, I was out. This is one of the days where I go out and spend a day at the Sweat Lodge. And what that means is I go out and spend a day where I get to release, I get to cleanse, I get to reset, I get to renew all the hours. I get to do all of that in the day, like when I go out to Sweat Lodge. And what came to me today, because obviously I spend the whole day in community, in ceremony, in circles, in praying and, singing and, enjoying the drums and all of that. And what I realized, because at some point in the day while I was in ceremony, I actually, this thought come to me. How do you recharge, release, reset, and renew? And that is the word I'm looking for: recharge, reset, renew, and release, right? Um, Yeah, so how do you recharge your batteries, How do you reset and feel renew, and how do you release? Like, what do you do? I know you have practices because most of us have practices that we do when we get tired. So somehow, although I'm in this, big spiritual environment all day, I was thinking there is this, well, I do get to be in and out of it, but all day. And it was a good couple hours away, so it took us all day to do that. But one of my favorite person on Instagram, I think his name is Elton. Elton, yeah, I think so. I'm going to probably look him up, but I believe his name is Elton. And yesterday morning, I heard him say that when he goes out, he loved to go out, he loved to have a good time, he loved to do all the things, but in a sense, and he loved to be around people. And also he is trying to write. He wants to write. He's trying to figure out how to sit and write all the things in his head, but nothing is coming. And he also says that when he's out and he's, with people and he's hanging with people, one of the things that he finds is that he can disappear for days because he realized that he is like a sponge. He's like a sponge. He's soaking up all the people, all the things. He takes all of it. And all of a sudden, he find himself that he has to go and recharge his battery. So he disappear. And this is what he did with us on Instagram. He disappear. I haven't seen him for a few days. For quite a little while, I haven't seen him. So he disappeared. I have to tell you, when you're sitting in front of a camera, it's easy to judge yourself. And I know I got some. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is, because it's kind of my eyes is bothering me a bit, and I think it's because I got it burned today with some fire. So I'm going to actually have to be brave and do the ring light thing, the ring light thingy. I'm gonna have to do that. Anyway, so he was saying that, he actually have to remove himself for a few days. And the truth is, that's exactly what he did from Instagram. All of a sudden I didn't see him. I'm always looking for him in the morning because he's so cool. He always say, "Where is my witches, my esoteric people, my what do you call it? The witches, the esoteric, the spiritual." Yeah, those three things he always say: my spiritual, my esoteric, and my witches. I am all three. I am a witch, I am spiritual, and I'm totally 100% esoterical as well. And yeah, so he disappeared. And so, but what I realized from his story, with him disappearing and resting and recharging and trying to figure out all the things to come back on, I realized, like, if you want to say put your hands up, I'm going to put my hands up, because you know why? That's me. But I say it differently. I remember, last year I was in Grenada, and I go out to the beach all day and, run into people. When you're on a small island, especially when you're from that small island and you grow up part of your life in that small island, what you find is that everybody knows you. You don't know them, but everybody knows you. So people are like, "Jean, when you come, Jean, when you're leaving, Jean," blah, blah. You sit on the beach, you talk to people, you hang out, you go out with your friends, you go see your friends in the evening time. Your mom is in the house, you're constantly in her presence. Your sister is living there, your nephew is there, you're always there. The man that I am seeing is next door, so I'm always there. And I would go for a few days, and all of a sudden, there's a whole day where I am like, I am peopled out. That is my slogan, actually. I use it all the time. That's what I say, and nobody understands. "Jean, what do you mean?" I'm peopled out. I had enough people. So I was resonating so hard with my Instagram buddy, Elton, when he says that he disappeared. Showing up here every day for the last 31 days, and tonight make it 32 days, because today is the 1st of February. And so showing up here every night for the last 31 days, and this make it 32, and I'm going to be here for the whole year. And I'm showing up because I make a commitment. I am honoring my commitment that I made to myself. And let me tell you something. I honor a lot of my commitment I make to myself. I honor the commitments I make to other people. But there are small things that I have to commit to myself to that I don't do. And I really want to just tell everybody, like, I feel like there are so many things that I have to commit to. Like, I am committed to my health, and I eat well, but I still find that I'm not doing enough in that department. We'll talk about that another time. I'm definitely going to bring the health thing in here and talk about that for a bit, because you might be able to help me. But anyways, I'm speaking about being peopled out. And when I get peopled out, one of the way I recharge, well, if I'm in Grenada and I'm on the island and I don't really want to see anybody, it means that I'm on holiday, so I can take a whole day and hang out inside the house in the bedroom. I would literally do that. I'll turn on my fan, open up the windows so the air can circle, and I would have myself a bottle of water and I would hang out for the whole day, like the whole 24 hours until the next day without even coming out to see anyone. I may come out from time to time to use the washroom or whatever. That is TMI, but maybe not everybody goes to the washroom. So that's what I do when I'm there. I recharge by, retreating. And that's a beautiful word because that's what I was doing today. So I recharge by retreating. And the other way I recharge is I usually, when I am on holiday in Grenada, I usually get up every single morning at 6 a.m., actually 5:30. Well, actually at 5. And I would leave the house by 5:30 and walk down to the beach. And usually I can get to the beach in 5 minutes, but what I do is that I take the long way around. So it takes me an hour when I take the long way around to get to the beach, and I will walk on the beach every morning. And that for me is it's a releasing, right? Because when you are walking bare feet on the sand for, more than 45 minutes, an hour or so, it is a treat. When I arrive on the beach, I take my shoes off. I cannot wait to put my foot in the sand. I walk on the edge of the water. And as the wave come in and splash, sometimes I run so the wave can run after me, or sometimes I just walk. And that is a way of releasing, because when I'm walking, I'm releasing any pent up energy that I'm holding on to. I'm releasing any negative vibes that I have. I'm releasing my negative thought process. Um, I'm releasing, like I'm releasing a few pounds or a few inches, because let's face it, if you walk a lot, and I got to tell you, last year I walked so much, I swear I lose like 13 pounds. I walk so much. Like I was like, boom, just like that. This year it doesn't seem to be working. This year I decided to stay in Canada in the cold, and I am walking, but it's just not the same. It's just not doing the same thing, and I don't know why. But I was also swimming every morning. So I would walk and then I would, take a swim. So again, with swimming, the swim itself, it's like oh my God, swimming every morning is like a daily cleanse. It is salt water. So I already know that I'm cleansing. Up here, when we want to do our cleanse and bath, we do, Epsom salt or the pink salt or Himalaya salt. I don't know. Cannot pronounce it properly, but don't come for me. You guys already know. If you're here and you're watching my channel, you know I'm not really good at pronouncing. I pronounce a lot of things, but a lot of things get twisted in my tongue. And I'm done apologizing for it. I wish it wasn't so, but it is so. And I'm done apologizing for that one. But, anyways, so swimming in salt water is like, oh, I think it's the best thing in the whole entire world. Because when I take a walk in the morning and I take a swim, for sure, I am releasing. I am cleansing. I am, almost resetting, because by the time I leave the beach and I get back home, I already feel renewed. Like I feel like, oh yeah, it's a beautiful next day. I found my joy. I have my joy. There is no noise in my head. There is no chatter. It's clear. It's just, it's like smooth running all day, because I had that time in the morning to recharge myself. It's like I get I got the battery and I recharge myself. And so that's how I do it in the Caribbean. And there's no salt water. Well, unless you go to the Banff Springs Hotel, which is a Banff Fairmont. They do have a nice saltwater pool up there. Maybe I should go up there sometime. It's really a nice thing to do, to go to the saltwater pool. I don't have a bath, so taking salt bath here. But I have an idea. I heard someone say that I can take the same essential oil and the stuff that I want and put it on the floor off my shower, and then it would give me a similar simulation. But in a sense, I don't do that. I don't need that right now. When I'm here in the summertime, I walk, and I walk extremely hard in the summertime, because don't talk about being peopled out. For me, it's a daily thing on my job. Like, it's a daily thing, because I walk outside, I walk in a campground, I walk where people are constantly coming at you or leaving, coming and going, and then there is a whole, well, actually, I'll just say this because I'm going on and on, but I will say this about walking in the national park and working with Parks Canada. I am never alone. And I'm going to leave that right there. Because when you are a park employee, you always have to work with someone else. And there is a plus to that. There's a huge plus to that. Because when something happened, there is another witness. You have a witness. And maybe they're a colleague, they're going to be on your side. That's really not the whole point. But it is still part of the point. But you have a witness, you have someone that you work with. You're not allowed to walk alone. For your safety, for their safety, we work in a national park. There's a lot of animals in the middle of the summertime. There is bears running around, there is deers running around, there is elk running around, there is fox, there is wolf, there is, and if you walk in the environment I walk in on a daily basis, you probably would see all of that in a day. I'm not even kidding you. And don't forget the dogs that people bring on the campground, and don't forget the cats, because they bring their cats as well. So those things happen. So how I recharge, and it's a daily thing. But one of the things I do is I do this thing called um, I have a wellness day. You allow, I get to have a wellness day. I get to recharge my battery by, having a wellness day throughout my job. Or I spend all my lunchtime on my own. I'm always in the bush somewhere, in the back of the lunchroom, on one side of the lunchroom. I'm over in my car, and people might take it personally, and I know that they do take it personally. They don't think that I associate with people. They think that I retreat and I stay for myself, and I do that. And I used to say that it's a form of protection, but now I'm understanding is that I just can't handle the whole hoopla. When you arrive in the morning, it's 8 o'clock, but because you're working with all these people, it's like a hoopla. Everybody's like, it's a hoopla. And you might find this interesting, because I love talking, but I love deep diving into a conversation. You know, just a normal blah, blah, blah. I do like deep diving. That's why I love spirituality. That's why I love unearthing what there is to unearth. I love, seeing what's underneath things. It's not like I'm gonna pull up the plant, but I love seeing what's underneath things. So another way and also because I get to walk next to a lake, right? Gorgeous. I actually, some of my lunchtime, a lot of my lunchtime, as a matter of fact, I go to my favorite spot. I go and I sit on the bank of the lake, right? Where the lake run into the canal. I sit on the bank of that. And guess what I do? I actually watch traffic, but the type of traffic I look at is I look at all the paddle boats going down and so there's the paddle boats and the canoe and the people on their big tire thingy, the whatever you call it, right? Their life raft, but lots of paddle boat, lots of canoe. So I look at, people going up and down, not they're not we're not I'm not chatting with them or anything like that, but it's like, it's like people watching. It keeps me. So that's what I do when I'm at work. And usually a lot of the time when I come home in the evening, thank God I don't have small children, or even, like a lot of, like, thank God, because when I come home after work, I am out. I'm out. I'm not functioning. I don't want to function. I have to recharge. I need to go to bed early. I need to wake up early. I need to do something in the morning, maybe a little yoga, maybe a little breathing, whatever it is. I need to do that in the morning time before I leave my house. Sometime between my home and work, I would actually stop and go and sit and watch the mountains for a little while. That's me recharging and releasing, and resetting, so that I can, and I use sage. I burn sage a lot. I would burn a whole bundle of sage. Well, not a whole bundle, but I would burn some sage in my car before I get out in my car to see my, like, honestly, every morning I go to work, I smell like some people probably think sage is pot, because actually some people do. I had someone run after me asking me if I was smoking pot one time when I light some sage. I hope you know what sage is, right? I have the real sage that I pick myself, or I pick in community, and put them to dry and all of that. So that's some of what I do in the in the summertime. If I'm not summering in the Caribbean, or when I'm summering here working. And on my days off, I take time off to recharge, to eat properly, to see my friends and little things like that. But mainly, I hide out a lot, like my friend, my Instagram friend. Now, the other thing that I in the wintertime, and I leave out all of that. And actually, throughout the whole year, when I'm here in Canada, I go to Sweat Lodge almost every second week. Around the Christmas holiday, we didn't have, like, we didn't have it around the Christmas holiday, but I literally average going to Sweat Lodge once every 2 weeks. So at least twice a month, I'm in a Sweat Lodge. And what that means is that, again, I think I say it a little earlier, I, it's not the same as a sauna, but if you cannot find, some beautiful people to invite you into their community, you probably might go to a sauna or a steam room or something like that, that would help you, all your pores, would get your pores open and everything pouring out. Speak like an Italian. My hands. Yep. Um, yeah, so yeah, so that happens around when I'm in around Sweat and Sweat Lodge, because I get to hang out by the fire, and so I get to kind of have that, like, notice what's happening there, and I get to really release. I get to release. I get to um release all my negative energy, lots of sage, lots of sweating, um, lots of praying, lots of chanting, lots of singing, not chanting. And all of that is something that really help you to cleanse. It's like you really come out and you're renewed. And I'm not releasing any secrets. This is just, if you haven't been there, you still have to go and have the experience. There's no secret. I'm not really talking about anyone in particular. But the truth is, that's how you do, that's how I operate. So, again, coming back to the question, what do you do? Now, on a normal basis, if I'm not doing that or anything else, what I'm doing is that, I go out and walk a lot. Like, walking for me is more than a meditation, is more than doing something for my physical body. It helps me on an emotional level. It helps me on a mental level. It helps me on a spiritual level, because when I go walking, I do the same thing. I talk. I talk to the creator. I talk to the trees. I talk to the river. Sometimes I'm talking to my leg, because I'm never really in a hurry going anywhere. And one of the experience I had too when I was in Grenada, it was there's two women I know there. One is a really, really, really good friend. I have known her forever. She helps me, she had helped me a lot in my life in so many ways. And the other one is I just got to know her a little bit this year, right? But what they have in common, my friend that I've known forever, every single Thursday, she stays at home in her house and pray and read the Bible. She pray and read the Bible for like a good, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, right? And then you feed yourself afterwards because you must feed yourself afterwards. And one of the things she told me is that she said, Jean, when I don't do that, it's like, life is not even going properly. When I take the time out to spend a day in communion with whoever her creator is, and communion with, really and truly in prayer and doing the thing, she says, life always seemed to be going better. And I get it. I understand it. You know why it seems to be going better? It's not like all the same thing is not happening to you, but it's going better because your mindset is clearer, because you have renewed. Take some time to renew your energy. You take some time to renew your mental health, you strengthen your mental health. You take some time to release all this negativity. So it's only obvious that when you take the time to really and truly reset and recharge and renew and release all the things, when you take the time to do that, when other things come at you, you are better able to handle it. And just when you think, oh, just when you get to the point where you're like, oh, I think I need to reset, it is time to reset because you took the time to do it. And so that is one of the things that one of my friends do on a Thursday. And then the other woman that I just recently met while I was there this last time in October, she takes Saturday off. And I don't even know how she does that, because this is a woman that works, like, she works really hard. She does braids. She spend the whole day um at her shop down in the vendors market. The vendors market is on the beach where, they sell for tourists when you're in the Caribbean. And plus, she spent a lot of her time braiding while she's taking care of her shop and taking care of someone else's shop. And so I asked her one day, like, yeah, on a Saturday, what do you do? She said, oh, I take this day for myself, to be in prayer and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And she said, yeah, but today I came to work late because I was kind of like in my garden. I said, your garden? Are you doing a garden? Um, is it just your personal garden, or is it a garden where you sell the stuff you sell your vegetables? And she said, oh, it's a business. I sell my vegetables. And I was like, wow, this woman have a garden that she takes care of and sell her vegetables. She have a shop that she sell to tourists every single day, well, 6 days a week. And on top of that, she does braids as well, right? And when she takes this one day off a week, she spend that whole day in prayer, renewing, releasing, recharging, and resetting all the things, right? You want to renew, you want to recharge, you want to release, and you want to reset. But mainly, it's all the same thing, you're recharging or you're resetting, same thing. Well, maybe not, because to recharge, you really actually have to plug yourself in, like a battery. And so I see praying and, you know, cleansing and swimming and walking. I see all of that like a recharge. They are different. They are different. they're different batteries in a sense, because sometimes the battery I need is a walk in nature. Sometimes the battery I need is to go and get myself nice and cleansed. Sometimes the battery I need is a little yoga. And sometimes the battery I need is just to, avoid people. Just avoid them. Avoid them for as long as it's necessary to avoid them, right? So mainly, I leave you with the question. Yeah, that's why I'm cold. Namely, leave you with the question like, how do you recharge and what do you do? And hopefully, I also give you a few answers and simple, let you know how simple it is. Because if you like to walk, go walk in. Forget it, just go walk in. If you're a runner, sometimes it's -20 out here, and I would go out for a walk, and there's people running. It's snowing like crazy, and there is someone out there jogging. And that person is like, I need to go, like settle my mental health. I need to go take care of my mental health. I'm not sure why, maybe, yeah, anyways, I'm seeing the light. Oh, okay. Yep, I'm seeing the light flashing, and I'm wondering why my light is flashing back there, right? Yeah, so I do recommend trying praying though, or meditation, or sitting silent in your closet like Oprah. I like to bring up Oprah. I love Oprah now, and I used to love her a long time ago. And I know a lot of people don't like Oprah, but Oprah is the person I learned from. She is a teacher. She has been my teacher when there was no other people, in the early days in the 80s and 90s. When did she start a television show? In the 90s? She has been one of those people. And yes, I'm not as eloquent as her, and and I don't have her money. But I think I'm getting close to having her, being as happy as she is, like being joyful, understanding, finding your joy, understanding, living your best life, understanding, um, being happy, understanding that, when you're angry and you don't like someone, and you have hatred, you only have it for yourself, not for the other person. You are swallowing your own bitter pill. So if you're out there with a bitter pill, do not swallow it. Release it, reset it, recharge it, and get yourself all renewed. Alrighty. So I think that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you really enjoy this segment, because I honestly did. I enjoy this segment. I enjoy, maybe because I have no noise in my head this evening, because I just freed myself. I just release all the shit. So maybe that's why I'm liking this session, because I'm just here keeping you company. I'm here talking to you who is listening and made it all the way to the end of my video. Let me tell you, I really 100% appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that you stay with me this length of time. I appreciate you watching my video, and please subscribe to my channel. This channel is about beginning again. This channel is about resetting, begin again, reset. It's never too late. It's on that category, but I like the idea of begin again. So this is what my channel is about, no matter your age, although I'm sure that I am mostly speaking to people probably a little bit older. And also, this channel is my retirement plan channel. And I'm still wondering what I should do with it, because I'm feeling so playful with the whole thing. But thank you so much. So please subscribe and watch the video and like my channel, and give me a like, give me a thumbs up. I'll be so happy and grateful. Thank you so much again. Thank you. And I'm not editing, so don't lose your mind or yourself when I move forward and stop my video, because I ain't getting to edit until I pass my 100-day Mac. And then I'm gonna, and keeping that commitment is really hard because every day I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Anyways, I'm running on now. I'm gonna stop. Have a good evening, have a good day, have a good morning, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Do less and be more. I love you guys.